What is up, NFL fans? It is your boy, Kevin Phillip Fox, with the Legit Football NFL podcast. We're out of focus. We're blurry. It's absolutely ridiculous. No clue what's going on with this webcam. We're going to rock with it for a second until I get some cover. I'm just going to look like I was shot on an Android camera. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, my partner from Down Under is joining me, as always, Mr. Adrian Revito. Adrian, entertain the people while I fix my camera.
I was gonna say, I got you. You're out of focus. I'm in focus. Oh man, I need to let the music play out though, because I do love that. While Kev's getting focus going on, it's important to note, if you haven't read the comments already, or if you haven't read the description already, that the band's back together. And I didn't want to steal his thunder, but while he works out his focus, I'm taking it. I'm not even stealing it. I'm keeping this thunder, and I'm bringing in one Mr. NFL Stats. Famously NFL Stats, Jimmy Ray. Hold up, walk up music.
What's going on, guys?
There he is.
There's some beautiful music, man. Age has it going.
Beautiful music for a beautiful man, Jimmy.
See, Age is focused, unlike Kev's camera over there.
Let's go. Still bad, but it's not as bad as it was before. You did totally steal my thunder, Adrian. I'll probably never forgive you for that.
Oh, no.
I was very excited to introduce Jimmy. I had a whole monologue prepared. It was going to be like the most.
You want me to kick him out?
Yeah,
please, actually. Yeah, can we try again?
Yeah,
let's do it. I don't care if we have time for it or not.
Early shots from Takeda. This is the second time Takeda's taken some early shots.
Takeda.
Wow. Yeah, what's up with that? Takeda? I thought we were boys, man. Come on. This is horrible. Welcome to the Legit Football NFL podcast. We are going to be in focus and live for you all day. We have a week 8 recap and a week 9 preview. Kevin, Adrian, and Jimmy rotating the matchups as usual. But first, we have some action from week 8 to get to. So, Adrian, why don't you launch our first talking point? And where else to start? Where better to start than in Las Vegas, Nevada, where Raiders head coach Josh McDaniels, GM Dave Ziegler, and OC Mick Lombardi are all canned. Adrian, it didn't take a crystal ball to tell you that Josh McDaniels was not long for the Vegas world, was he?
It did not. It's I'm looking for my sad trombone noise. There it is, because that's got to be how all of these guys are feeling right now. I mean, look, Josh McDaniels is, and this actually seems to be a bit of a Belichickism from the Belichick tree. Great coordinator, terrible head coach. It happens. We know that, and he'll find work for sure. But he's out the door for now. But much like Matt Patricia, someone else is losing my mind, but his name is out of my mind, but it's coming to it. There's just not meant for the head coach world. And to be honest with you, we've talked about it on this show. Some of the decisions he was making, I mean, we can agree, right? This was the right move. It's a weird one to tear it down in the middle of the season, but this was the right move.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt like his in-game decision-making wasn't up to par. Like a lot of the head coaching duty specifically, that comes with being a head coach, like he wasn't great at. In terms of offensive coordinator, I think we all know he's a rock star in that aspect. But dude, as a head coach, I mean, he hung his hat on Tim Tebow and Jimmy Garoppolo with the Broncos and now with the Raiders, and he has like a 30-something% win rate, and that's with starting 6-0.
Oh my God!
So, yeah. Oh my God, indeed. I mean, it's obviously unfortunate as a Colts fan. I'm not upset about it because he backed out on us. So it just goes to show
did you some favors by the sound of it,
right? Yeah, it was meant to be. I mean, no hard
it's weird, right?
There, but
the Raiders are going to be paying him and John Gruden for the next 6 odd years. I think it is something between 40 to 80 million, which is insane.
That's tough.
Yeah, and I kind of find. Look, I mean, normally when they do this sort of stuff, often the GM goes with him. Dave Ziegler. I don't know if he needed it as bad as McDaniels. But that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes everyone gets taken away.
Yeah, and I'm coming at you fully in focus to tell you that I personally completely agree with the decision to fire Josh McDaniels. I do believe that it came maybe a tad late. I think he might be one of the most atrocious coaches in NFL history. He might be a fine OC, honestly. He really might. But it's very clear that he is not cut out to coach in the NFL as a head coach. And he might go the route of Cliff Kingsbury and just head to Thailand, hang out,
not a bad life.
Sip on some.
That's what I would do. Yeah, why not?
Mai Tais and collect a check for the next 4 years. He's going to be one of the highest paid people in the NFL, and he doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, but now we have Aiden O'Connell coming in too for the Raiders. I mean, a clean slate, young players. That's kind of what the rebuilding process will look like for the Raiders. But you have to see what you have in the quarterback so you know where to go. And even if you lose games, I mean, you have to try.
Yeah, I'm happy to say that Raiders fans can rejoice. Not that it's ever fun for a man to lose their job, but man, this feels like it was overdue. As Takedo said, Christmas came early for Raiders fans. All right.
Yeah.
Next up on the docket today. Anything you guys want to say before we get to TNF?
I was just going to say I shrewdly had Aiden O'Connell sitting on my taxi squad in our legit football fantasy. So he's been elevated because my other option was Desmond Ritter.
Man,
you're
the
so
matter.
rude.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you lose one door closes, another door opens, Adrian. It's a beautiful thing.
I'm just saying it was tailored for me. This decision, this world where Josh Dayton, I feel sorry for him, but it was for me. The football gods did it for me.
They really did. I mean, your team did whoop my team's ASS last week.
I didn't want to bring it up.
I'm
Swear
spelling
bring it up.
for
Swear jar.
the 12-year-olds in the chat who can't read. No, you can read by 12, right?
You are
I don't know.
ruining people's day, and
Yeah.
I'm living for it.
It's been a long time.
You're in
since I've
7th
been
grade
12.
at 12.
I don't remember. Armand is in the chat. We're happy to see it. We have a Thursday night football recap to get to. Tennessee Titans and Pittsburgh Steelers. Not as bad of a game as people thought it would be.
Oh no.
We saw some juice from Will Levis, which I had a feeling we would. I kind of like this guy. I've been saying it since the draft. I like the traits. I like the moxie. He has a story now that he was, slid to the second round. And he's showing a lot of it, pretty horrible, disgusting, awful decision-making and field vision on that final drive. Really should have thrown 3 picks on that drive. The third one was just finally caught. But Najee finally looked good. Big win for the Steelers. Biggest takeaways, Jimmy, from this game.
Yeah, Will Levis, I think, is one of the biggest things. I think Will Levis should obviously, I don't know if everyone agrees, should start for the Titans at this point. I think the Titans have to see what they have, like the Raiders. I don't think you're going anywhere crazy with Ryan Tannehill. I don't think it makes any sense. But as for the Steelers, I mean, they're a fourth quarter team. I think they're outscoring their opponents 42-11 in 42-11 in the fourth quarter in their wins this season. So it's just one of those situations where once the fourth quarter hits, bang. I mean, TJ Watt comes out. Kenny Pickett, Deontay Johnson got his first touchdown in 660 days, which is mind-boggling. I don't think I actually thought of that too often with Deontay Johnson because he's been a baller. But
yeah, he's a great player.
That's Kev's boy. Kev loves Deontay Johnson.
Love Deontay. Close to 100 catches last season, no touchdowns. Definitely projected some positive regression this year from Deontay. I have to say, Takedo, they're 5-3, bro. Takedo Luna in the chat says, "Can the Steelers just admit it's a rebuild?"
It's not a rebuild.
No, why would they do? I mean, look, it's not pretty. It's not fun to watch. We are NFL fans. We love high-scoring games. We love beautiful, graceful football. That's not what the Steelers do. They pound the rock with Najee Harris. They had a 9-minute drive in the third quarter. They win ugly. And you know what? That is completely fine. Winning ugly is a way to do it in the business. I'm trying to think of like a really ugly actor. Paul Giamatti. Okay. It's not pretty.
Perfect.
Wow.
It's really, I took a shot there. I took a complete
Paul Giamatti
shot.
catching strays. Yeah. For sure.
Josh in
What
the
the heck
chat.
is going on?
Josh, we technically don't, but of course we do. Josh, it's the Legit Football NFL podcast. We'll do
ask
whatever
us
you
and
want.
we'll tell you the wrong person. Absolutely.
Ask and we shall, and
Sure.
you shall receive. Technically, the Thursday night Legit podcast, the fantasy Q&A show is for fantasy questions, but the three of us, we're the Three Stooges, man. We'll do whatever you want us to do.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
if
what
you're
you want. You
size,
got the answer.
whatever
if
you
you
want,
join
man.
the show, we got you, man.
We appreciate
Absolutely.
you being here, Josh. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think the Steelers are Paul Giamatti, and I think that's fine. Paul Giamatti's a phenomenal actor. He's had a great career. Adrian, what are your thoughts on this game?
I see. To me, the biggest takeaway from this was Will Levis, and it wasn't that takeaway that last drive. This guy looks like a dude. I don't know if it's just me that's thinking this, but like, there's a couple times that there's one play I have in mind. He looks downfield, first read, looks at Treylon Burks. He's covered. Like, he's got the check down there. He's got pressure on his face, dodges the pressure, looks downfield again to Hopkins and throws like 13, 14 yards, whatever it is. Like, that kind of progression to your second and not third reads, but your second reads. Like you don't even see Bryce Young doing that yet, and
You
this
don't
guy
even see
was
Tua doing that. Let's be
no,
real.
yeah. Jimmy G has not
doesn't
had a
need
second
to.
read. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jimmy G hasn't looked at a second read since he started in the NFL. So like,
Literally.
it sounds like all right, it's one play, and there's one play here, and there's one play, and there's one good throw here. That's and I talk from a place of experience where like when you've got a new quarterback, you want to see, it's not all going to be beautiful, right? It's not all. Some of it's going to be Paul Giamatti, but you want to see, you want to see those Brad Pitts in there, just elements of Brad
A
Pitt.
flash of Brad Pitt, yeah.
Which, as I say that out loud, Jimmy, can you and I agree that Kevin looks like a long-haired Brad Pitt?
Ooh.
He's got the look. Come on.
I've gotten a lot of Leo.
I would like
I
to second that, man. You're
appreciate
absolutely
that.
gorgeous.
This is
That's
amazing.
basically
You
what
guys are-
Adrian's saying right now. He's
you
just
guys
are
saying
gassing me
gorgeous,
up.
dude.
I
But
absolutely
other
love
than
this.
that,
Keep
and
Who
Matt
else do I
Canada
look
down
like?
on the field, that's such a trope for me. To me, I mean, look, I'm sure it makes some difference, but they made a big deal of Matt Canada being on the sideline.
It's such a trope. I agree with you, Adrian. That is the classic
It's a
progression of
superstition. Yeah.
struggling OC.
Yeah.
Yep. Wait till
It's like we're
Ken
not ready to
Dorsey's on
fire
the-
you.
or he's up in the glass box and he's looking down on people.
Yeah. So
whatever.
Josh,
dude.
thanks for the question. We're gonna pivot off Thursday Night Football preview, but the Steelers are who they are. They're
We'll
Paul
do that.
Giamatti, and they're gonna keep winning until they stop Takeda. Unfortunately, they're not gonna rebuild. The Titans, arrow trending up. They're 3-5 now. Their season's gonna probably be long. Arrow trending up. Josh, rest of season: DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, and Christian Kirk. I'm gonna take the lead on this one, you guys.
Please.
Personally, I would rank DJ Moore 1A, Christian Kirk 1B. I think the upside is with DJ Moore because him and Justin Fields have displayed this insane chemistry. Christian Kirk is still solid. He'll still be great for you. Of course, there's the fear that Adrian's boy, Calvin Ridley, wakes up from his slumber.
Less and less scary every day, to be honest.
It does look less and less likely, but the Calvin Ridley fears do exist for Christian Kirk. There's not really somebody on Chicago who can take the mantle from DJ Moore. So I'll go 1A, 1B, and then Jacoby Myers. I won't even put him 2 or 3. I'd put like a huge gap. And I love Jacoby Myers. Let's get that out in the open. He's been phenomenal this year. He's got me in a position where I'm 7-1 in a league where I shouldn't be. But the benching of Jimmy G and the insertion of Aiden O'Connell, I don't know if he can support two options to start for fantasy. So the gap is smaller than I thought, but I'll go 1A, 1B, and then like 5. I'll put Jacoby Myers, and then you could probably get some player guys.
I agree with you. Yeah, Jacoby Myers, his peak, I feel like is way well below Christian Kirk or DJ Moore, and then DJ Moore's the upside, and Christian Kirk's like the consistent kind of just he'll definitely get some catches for you and get some yards for you, but DJ Moore could pull off like 40 points in a game. So
then follow-up question, Adrian, are you in lockstep with us? Do you have a
Yeah, no. Look, before, if Jimmy G was playing at the height of his powers, and that's not that high, I'd probably have some things to say because he had a bit of chemistry with Jacoby Myers. But everything he said is correct, particularly with Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah. So, looking at the 20-team PPR, which is just nauseating, and I'm saying prayers for you every night before I go to bed. I'll start praying for you, Josh. In a 20-team PPR, we have Rondale Moore and Jacoby Myers for DJ Moore. I would do that. I would do it, especially with your roster. You have the bandwidth to do it.
Is this dynasty? I don't know.
Great question, Josh. Thank you for asking. We are always willing to pivot. That's one thing about Legit Football that's a little different from our other 2 shows. This is kind of our weekly silly, goofy hour where we can just kind of control the vibe that we're feeling in the moment. So wonderful, wonderful questions. Thursday Night Football recap done. Adrian, anything else from Week 8 we want to get to before we head on to our slate of amazing Week 9 games?
No, we're headed straight into Week 9 today. We thought we'd keep it a little tighter at the beginning.
Tight.
We say after 15 minutes of ramble.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Jimmy. Tight.
Yes.
What's that from?
That's a Breaking Bad one.
Let's go.
Everyone knows that.
There we go.
If you don't know that, that's Breaking.
Oh no.
My pops is in the chat. I know my pops knows what that one is. My pops was texting me, harassing me about my camera at the beginning of the show. That's why I took it so seriously. You can't fall on your face in front of dad,
No.
So who's starting us off? Bears at Saints.
I am, but before Bears and States, I have to say 2 things about that. Tight.
Oh yeah.
The first is have you seen the YouTube video where they've superimposed him in with Thanos and he's crushing up the Infinity Stones?
I don't think I have. No.
Oh, no.
Google it. And the second is shout out. This is my weekly shout out to my wife. I do it all the time on this show. anytime the word tight is mentioned anywhere in any circumstance or any scenario, my wife goes, tight, tight, tight.
That's
It's
so
it's a,
funny.
it's in our house.
He sounds like a dope person, man. Your
Oh,
wife
she's
sounds really
awesome.
cool.
Anyway, Bears and
All right.
Saints.
Bears and Saints.
You might hear my son making his second appearance.
Love it.
Let's go.
We're gonna
He's a star.
He's been in the making. So, where do we go here? We're from one rookie quarterback talking about Eden O'Connell. We've got Tyson Bagent starting again now. He's had two terrible games that sandwiched a kind of game where he managed against Brian Hoyer to win a game. So I'm not really feeling the Tyson Bagent train. He shows some things, of course, but you got a better chance with Justin Fields out there. I don't feel like he's going to be able to do much here. The Saints defense is ranked second in opponent passer rating. They're fifth in takeaways. They were third in it was another passing stat. And the Bears have zero pass rush. In fact, they're ranked 31st in pass rush. So Derek Carr is going to have all the time in the world to be hitting his receivers, and Tyson Bagent is going to be under pressure constantly. So to me, this feels like the Saints continue on their easy schedule to get some points. I'm going to say 28-14.
Yep. I got no complaints. I think the Saints are going to run away with this game. Bears will show up. They'll probably do their usual drive or two where they look competent. But I foresee this game being, for all the slander Derek Carr's gotten, he went out there and balled last week. He will continue to go out there and ball every couple weeks, and then he'll throw up his classic stinker. But I don't think it's coming this week. I'm predicting this game ending in a 34-14 Saints thromping of the Bears. Jimmy, prediction?
Yeah, I think it'll be 28-14. I think it'll be pretty big shootout. Sure. Yeah, I don't even know what he said, so I guess so.
Yelch, I'm sitting right here, Jimmy.
I know, you literally just totally copied this, man.
Right to my face.
You couldn't even make it look different. Like, you're handing in the same paper.
27-14. There we go. There we go.
Actually,
but I think
a couple field goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the defense for the Saints is definitely the biggest difference there, and the playmakers they have on the offensive side. I think it just a tad more.
Yeah, and I'm thinking Olave gets back on track this week. Takedo Luna shouts out Brian McFadden for being a real one. LOL. Not sure what's funny about that, Takedo. It's just a fact. We freaking love Brian McFadden here. He is all of our subs favorite teacher, favorite principal. We're the subs. He's the principal. He's out on sabbatical.
I said this last time that this is when you weren't here either, Kevin, and me and Anthony Wayne were running the show. It's like our parents are at home, and Brian is the ultimate dad to us all. He's when he's in,
absolutely.
I feel that pressure. What?
Wasn't I here last week?
No, I'm going back. Remember, you were going to Buffalo for training camp.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn. I thought you said last week. I was like, hey, I haven't missed a show in a while.
No.
Like that.
I would never.
Hell yeah, we love Brian, man. Thanks for the shout out to Cato. And Takedo also explicitly wants hit on the record. He doesn't want Jim Harbaugh. We respect that.
All right, I'll write that down.
Dolphins at Chiefs. Age, who we got here?
This is you, my friend.
Are we going counterclockwise rest of the way?
It feels that way, yeah.
Let's go counterclockwise. I won't ask again.
Until Dolphins the very end.
At Chiefs, and this makes me so freaking happy to get to talk about because they're my two most hated teams in the league right now. But that being said, I have taken off my homer cap. There's no Bills merch on me right now. I am just an analyst. And the analyst in me is, again, I'm going to put my freaking clown makeup on, boys, and I'm going to wake up for a 6:30 a.m. kickoff on the West Coast, even though the last couple of times I've done that, I had to watch Desmond Ridder play football once, and then the other time I had to watch my team sleepwalk through a game. So this is round 3. Clown makeup is fully ready to be applied to my face, but I do feel good about it. Chiefs 1-point favorites in Germany. I was going to say at home, but it's not. There's a 50.5 point over under, which is just absolutely bonkers. This game should be a shootout. I'm not making much of the Chiefs. I'm not making much of the Chiefs debaucherous showing last week. I'm going to pretend I didn't see it. I rubbed my eyeballs like SpongeBob when he brushes his eyeballs. That's me. I don't think that the Chiefs are as bad as they looked last week. And I don't think the Dolphins, for what it's worth, are as good as they've looked. They kind of were letting the Patriots hang around for way too long. They were Mac Jones putting on his big boy pants away from taking care of the Dolphins just the same way that they took care of the Bills. It didn't work out that way. I personally think the Chiefs are going to win this game, and I think they're going to do it by containing Tua. Their defense has been a lot better this year. So I think they'll win the game. I still think it'll be a shootout, but I think the Dolphins will score less than people think they'll score. I'm going to go with Chiefs 30 to Dolphins 24.
Close to my score.
Okay. Yeah.
Are
So
you buying it? Sorry, go Dad. After you, Jimmy.
I was gonna say I'm gonna take the Dolphins here. I think Jalen Ramsey coming back is kind of a big step for their defense.
X factor.
And obviously they have so many playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I think that'll help them in London. I don't know why, but 34-31 Dolphins. I think that'll be
Germany.
That'll be the score. I think it'll be close. Yeah, Germany. My bad.
Are we buying into the whole? This is another trope. Patrick Mahomes had a flu last week, and that's what made him play that way.
Yeah, I'm buying it. The flu, weather, it was just not a good combo. I mean, there was bad vibes coming into the game. The flu
He didn't look himself.
just made it worse.
Yeah, there's a human element to it.
100%. Yeah, I think I'm fully expecting a get right game from Mahomes.
Evan, what was your score?
30 to 24.
So I'll just take a note of these. So 31 to 21. I'm going the. I was gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna go the Chiefs way.
A little bit of a borderline blowout there. You foresee a 2-score win.
It's right on the over under, but I just think the Chiefs defense is too strong. And I think that when Tua goes against good defenses, just like the kind of Patriots had him a little bit rattled the first game, he's put enough on tape that and Andy Reid's a good enough coach that I think that they can rattle him a little. That's where I'm at. I just think Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, 100%. Well, good stuff, Jimmy. You are on the docket for Vikings Falcons.
Yeah, a little different game here with the Falcons and Vikings. We have a Taylor Heineke game. I said in the preseason, I said Tyler Heineke would come out at some point, and here he is. He played solid in his coming out party last week. I think he'll come out again this week and play solid. I think he's a better QB option than Desmond Ridder is. I think he'll get a lot of the skilled players that they have. Definitely more options, more touches. I don't know what the exact game plan. It'll obviously be different, but I think he's a slinger and he can definitely make something happen. On the other side of the ball, Kirk Cousins going down is absolutely brutal. Jaren Hall coming in. We're not quite sure what he has in the tank, but we'll see here. But I got to lean Falcons here with their solid defense, and I think I'm just high on Taylor Heineke, so we'll see what happens.
What are you predicting?
I'll go 27-20 Falcons.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right on the money with Heineke. I think he's a better quarterback. I've always been on the Desmond Ridder as a bit of a dumpster fire show. Really, I think it's I don't know if it's undersold, but it's brutal that Kirk Cousins went down. He was having like a career stats. He was honestly in the top 5. Yeah, and in it, you know what? And if you're going to do it in any year, it's the year you're about to go into free agency. I feel for the guy. And if you watch, I don't know if you guys have watched Netflix's Quarterback. He's even as a NFC North quarterback, I like him a lot more. He was really, really like relatable, and that shows probably why they do it. So I'm gonna go with you on this, Jimmy. I think if you look at which quarterback you trust here, it's Heineke over why am I blanking on his name now? You just said it.
Ritter.
No. The Vikings.
Oh, Jaren Hall.
Jaren
Hall. That's what. But I will say it's going to be a disgusting game, and I am going to say 16-10.
Oh yeah, no, you're going really low in the barrel there. I'm not mad at it. I'm really, quite frankly, in a similar position. Yeah, I just don't see Jaren Hall getting anything going. The Falcons, especially their pass defense, has been pretty great. If Cam Akers can get things going and Alexander Middleton, as we call him on the Fantasy Q&A show, if he can get some action, that's really their only chance, I think, to get something going in the run. But I don't like their chances personally. Armand breaking in the chat, Armand Schefter, that Drake London is going to be out for the Falcons. So that makes it worse. Takedo predicting a 12-9 slobber knocker. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Falcons win this one a little more convincingly than you guys do. I'll say 24 to, I will say 13.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay.
Your boys, Homer Hill.
Here we go.
Let's talk about them, Age. What's going on?
I need some sad music for this. Let's look. I think we can all agree that I'll try and be an analyst first, but I think we can all agree this could have been a dynamite game. Now, I didn't do it because I'm a homer second, like a very close, let's be honest, probably first. The Packers probably in one of their worst seasons yet, and I think we had to have expected it. They're 0-4 against the spread. They're just not covering even the handicap at this point. Jones, Jair Alexander, Luke Musgrave, all limited in practice. Matt LaFleur said he's going to cut Jones loose this week, so he really needs to do that. I almost want to put the sad music again. Rasul Douglas has gone to Kevin Phillip Fox's beloved Bills. They was not
So
happy with
happy.
that trade. Yeah,
I'm so happy.
I didn't. I mean, I haven't seen it because I haven't got Bill's Twitter on my Twitter. But if anyone's complaining about that pick, the pick swap for dude, that's a steal. Rasul
Dude,
Douglas.
it's a steal, right? You move down from the 3rd to the 5th. Theoretically, the Bills are a contending team, so you're hoping it's a bottom 8. You know, I'm not giving them the conference championship just yet, but it's a bottom 8 pick, and you move down from the 3rd to the 5th, and the Packers are doing objectively bad, so it should be an early 5th. You're moving down 60-something picks to add
a proven commodity.
Probably a cornerback 1 in this defense. Like, I love Christian Benford. Dane Jackson's been fine, but no Trey White.
Kyrie Douglas on IR, isn't he?
Trey White is out for the year.
Yeah.
Christian Benford has been okay. Dane Jackson has been adequate. I'd say below average to adequate. So I think throwing Rasul Douglas in there, who's a proven zone corner. Look, Adrian, the outpouring of love from Packers Nation and the team and the beat reporters who are lamenting the trade is very assuring to me. It makes me feel very good about Brandon Beane's choice. I personally could not be more excited to get him on board.
Love some Brandon Beane too. Thank you, Takado. I know it's a process. I think it's just as a Packers fan, we haven't had this. If you were born before 1950, you might have seen this, or 1960 something, you might have seen this sort of stuff. But we've just had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back.
Spoiled.
So it's real. Yeah, we are. So look, I'm not upset, and I've said on this show, I trust the process, but I just don't know if I'm seeing in Jordan Love these last sort of 4 games what I saw at the start.
He's
Enough
been
about
rough.
the Packers. It's going to be a rough game. The reason this could be a dynamite game is because even on the other side of the ball, Matt Stafford's not confirmed to be starting. Behind him is Brett Ripien, who no one wants to watch ever. The Rams rush hasn't been the same since Kyron Williams gone out. Nakua is banged up. He's limited in practice. But they've still got their pieces on defense. I think they're gonna make Jordan Love's life a little bit of hell. The Packers offensive line has not been holding up. And even just Aaron Donald on his own, even if he was the only problem, you're going to have a lot of problems. So I think the Rams take this one away, particularly if Stafford starts. But I'll say 24 to 17. But how's this? I am going to also say 24 to 17. 14 of those points are coming in the second half. Jordan Love does not score in the first half. Don't know why.
Wow, dude. You hate
Shots
the Packers,
fired.
bro. You hate your team.
I love him, but I've got to be realistic. You know what? It would be journalistically unethical for me to say they're going to dominate this game.
But it's Brett Rippon, though.
That's if it's Brett Rippon. It's day to day, so it's not confirmed yet.
So you're picking the Packers if it's Brett Rippon?
No.
Or you're picking the Rams?
I think he's
picking the Rams,
he's with it regardless.
Wow, I think I agree. As gross as that sounds, and I'm sorry, Adrian.
No.
I'd love to give you some vote of confidence, but what evidence have we seen that they're going to right the ship?
Sad music's coming on
They
again.
have looked
Oh,
so
no.
bad. I'm so sorry, dude. Yeah, I think this season's a wash. There was hope that they might sneak into a wild card, but I think that hope is dying every week.
Oh yeah,
All due
diminishing.
respect. So I'll stick in the similar position as you, but I won't even give either team that much credit. I'll say 20-10 Rams.
Yeah, I was going 2013 Rams too, so it'll be brutal. I think Matthew
It'll be a
Stafford
rough
being out might change it up a little bit for me, but as of now, he might play. So
Could have so been a dynamite game.
Oh, Jimmy doesn't know about that yet, but he will.
It's coming up.
He will.
Uh-oh.
All right, Commanders at Patriots. Patriots are 3-point home favorites. This also could be a dynamite game. IMO. The over-under is 40.5 points. So like I said, Mac Jones.
I just realized you said IMO.
You like that? Yeah.
The kids say it, so I can say it too.
I liked it. Okay.
It's not a bad
I
one,
like
is it?
that. That's funny. Mac Jones has 1 game out of 8 where he looks like Peyton Manning, and 7 games out of 8 where he looks like Ryan Leaf. I'll let you guys figure out which team he was Peyton Manning against. But I am projecting the Ryan Leaf version of Mac Jones to show up this Sunday. I don't think he's figuring anything out. Like I said, he almost mounted a little bit of something against Miami, but he reared his ugly head, unfortunately. The Commanders on the other side, I think we're moments from the Jacoby Brissett time. I think the Sam Howell experiment is coming to a close. Unfortunately, he's been fun to watch. He's been exciting, but I just don't really see much to suggest that he could be the long-term answer. And look, he's got great chemistry with Terry McLaurin. That will be sad for fantasy if he goes, but Jacoby Brissett's been okay for receivers too. I just personally, I don't think there's much more to the Sam Howell experiment, in my humble opinion. I don't know about you guys. I think when he was taking all those sacks, it was looking a lot more likely. He did kind of get a little bit better of a game last week. But what do you guys think? Before I kick it, let me just give you my prediction. Commanders 24, Patriots 17.
Yeah, I think last week he had a very good game, and I mean, this Eagle secondary isn't something to brag about. I think their rush defense is something a little better, but still having 4 touchdowns against I think almost 400 yards against the Eagles is something to be happy about. Obviously, he's had some down games here and there, but I think that definitely holds off Jacoby Brissett for a little longer than
Weeks,
maybe
right?
you might think. Yeah, maybe a few more weeks. I'm not exactly sure when, but
It won't be this
I
week.
do.
The Patriots
Yeah,
aren't
not this
yeah.
week. So I think if he keeps kind of finding these games and finding something to be happy for, I think Sam Howell is. I think there's still an open possibility that he's possibly the guy. I'm not too sure quite
the
yet.
guy,
but-
the guy, or like the guy. The guy.
He's
the guy
shown
this
flashes
season.
of the guy. He's shown flashes of the guy.
I mean,
the guy,
they're-
the guy.
I will say.
Yeah, I mean, they just traded away a couple defensive guys, so I mean, they're obviously going to be. I think that might just be playing him throughout the rest of the season. Honestly,
Yeah,
and
they
then
might,
we'll kind of see
honestly.
where we are.
But they're
evaluate the whole
sellers.
season, but
That's
Doesn't
such a
there-
weird move, though, isn't it? Like, don't we feel like Rivera's on the way out? Why is he selling
Yeah,
these key pieces?
Don't you guys think their actions
got a
at the
new
trade
owner and
deadline
stuff, too.
say that they don't care?
I think either who's the new owner? Josh. I'm blanking on the name.
Josh
something,
Harris?
Yeah, so I think he's come in and said to Rivera, "Get me picks no matter what." And I don't think Rivera's got a choice, because if you're Ron Rivera, and we all know he's on the hot seat, why are you
he's gone.
selling
Yeah.
two? Look, let's say 2 of your best players. I know they've still got Deron Payne on that line, but really, what I like about Washington is their defensive line, and now that's gone. So I think they're selling, but I think Rivera is going to pay the price of it. Like, ultimately, I think he might even be gone mid-season.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
tough.
it's-
I think it's 27-24 Commanders, but I'm not really excited to say that.
Yeah, and Age, we need your score. Did we get a score?
I had exactly the same 27-24. We're in lockstep, Jimmy.
Jeez, yo.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys like?
Are
We'll
you
get a
jelly?
room. We'll go get a room. It's fine.
Kevin, are you
Yes.
jelly?
I'm actually a
Yeah,
little
come on,
jealous.
Kev.
Yeah. It's been me and Adrian for a while, man. You're stealing my thunder, Jimmy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the next game, and it is Jimmy Ray's game. Seahawks at
This is-
Ravens.
This is a fun one. I think I'm pretty high on the Ravens. I think the Ravens have been very comfortable. I think Lamar Jackson has been comfortable in Tom Hawkins' offense. I think they're kind of starting to figure out their offensive identity under him. They have a lot of different possibilities to go to on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense is kind of hit or miss at times, but they do have some great playmakers. So I gotta go Ravens here. I think Seahawks. I think if they run the ball and control the ball a little better than they have been, I think there's a strong possibility they could take the win. But I think it's gonna be like 30-20 Ravens. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this game, honestly.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I'm going to do this. I made this specifically for this game. I always say I'm going to eat crow whenever I talk about Lamar Jackson, because he's playing out of his mind at the moment. I thought he was overrated. So here's his victory lap. And while we run that victory lap, Lamar Jackson has this one. I think you're right. The Ravens, sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot. There's been some drops, but really the offense is getting people open. Geno Smith he's been interesting this year. I don't know if you guys have been watching many of his games, but every game he'll unfurl these absolute dimes, and then he'll just make a stupid decision. And it's like, you can't have one without the other with him.
He's been so frustrating, Adrian. He's been my fantasy quarterback in a couple leagues, and I'm just like, you're right. And sometimes it almost feels like he starts the game so fired up, so dialed in, the guy who they paid all that money to, and then either in the fourth quarter or the red zone, you tell me, he just fizzles out. He just becomes New York Giants Geno. He becomes.
Do you reckon he's there
holding
next year? Do you reckon he's there next year?
I think I think he'll still be there. Yeah,
they can get out of his contract. That I can tell. Like, I know they paid him, but they can get out of it. I wonder if they'll bring in someone I think you're right. I think he'll be there, but I think he'll be there on the way out. I think I'll bring in someone for him to mentor.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. Yeah. Adrian, what's your score prediction? We got
I
Jimmy's.
reckon, yeah. Okay. So you said 30-20, didn't you?
Yeah. Do
30
you want
to
to say
20.
that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly that. Exactly.
Pissed.
I would say I think it's going to be a high scoring game. So I'm going to say 31 to. Actually, how about this? 34-31. I'm going to
Ooh,
give the
shootout.
Woo!
Yeah,
Hashtag shootout.
I think it's. I just really like what Lamar Jackson is doing through the air at the moment. I also think Geno Smith, if he's on his game, and they pound the rock, but then he gets his shot and he doesn't make those stupid mistakes, which I just said you can't help but do. I think if he gets lucky, he can put some real points on the board. So I think the Ravens will take this, but I think it'll be closer than people think.
Yep. So I got a couple things, guys. Number one, my pops wanted me to share this with you. He took a photo of Adrian from his TV where Adrian looks jacked. Pretty
is
cool.
awesome.
Pretty cool looking, Adrian. Yeah, you look jacked, man.
Let's
He
go.
set it up on
Martini PK.
purpose.
Let's go, boy.
I was going to say, Martini PK, if you think that's an accident, you don't know me that well.
Do you guys see the way this is set up? This man is absolutely shredded. I now believe that's Adrian's bottom half. First and foremost, most important thing. Second most important thing that I have to say regarding this, you guys are completely, in my opinion, underestimating the strength of the Ravens. And that is Lamar Jackson is an absolute rifle this season. He's playing out of his mind. Gus Edwards is the Gus bus, and choo-choo all aboard. I'm going Ravens 41.
Woo.
Seahawks
Jeez.
27, and I'll say at least 10 of those are in garbage time.
That's
All right.
a big call.
It's a shootout.
I just saw this from Armand. That's pretty damning.
Yeah, I
George
saw the
Pickens
story for
post
George
freebie.
Pickens.
Those kind of things happen. I mean, look, he's a wide receiver. We don't have to look into this too much.
Really, that seems big. That seems big to me. I hate the whole removed all their
It's
posts.
so stupid.
But specifically saying free me and then unfollowing your quarterback
It's
is
weird.
different to me.
Yeah, the story was like it was like some meme that was like he's been thugging out too long. He's losing his mind or something like that. So
Yeah, I saw that.
it doesn't that I mean that's tough. Obviously, he had a very tough game last night. So in a few days, I'm sure he'll look back and be like, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should
I
just
think
keep grinding. But
this generation, like a lot of these players, these young guys coming in, they're Gen Z. This is
Yeah.
how they deal with their emotions. They
I guess
post.
I am too. So
Oh, sorry, Jimmy.
yeah, it's
Taking
fine. It's
shots,
only
wow.
one year
No,
close. Yeah, it's
No,
good.
No, you're
They stink. I'm in my own generation, dude.
you're Gen Ray.
Hey, X-ray. No, I just-
It's gonna be a shootout. Put it on the board. I believe it is
Okay.
Adrian's game.
You are correct, sir. So
Fire it up.
my boys, the Browns, I've got, you guys know I love about 85 different teams in this league. So, and the Browns are one of them. So,
There's only 32.
but look, yeah, and somehow I find a way. The Cardinals have obviously traded away their quarterback. So it's either 5th round rookie Clayton Tune or Kyler Murray for his first game in a year. Kind of hoping for the latter because I feel like that makes for a better game. Be interesting to see what he does. And it'd be a great test to see what he's like first game back against a defense like the Browns because they are ranked number 1 in the run, number 1 in pass rush. Jim Schwartz is, in my opinion, if there's I don't even know if there's a coordinator of the year award, but if there is, Jim Schwartz deserves that award.
There's not, but I think there should be.
Yeah, it like really Jim Schwartz is just killing it. So I think they picked off Geno twice last week. I think they're going to do a lot more damage than that. Myles Garrett is legit, in my mind, defensive player of the year. He might get overshadowed a little bit by the drama in Cleveland with Watson, who is expected to play, by the way. Grant Delpit's having an amazing season as well. He's another one's kind of gone under the radar, and Denzel Ward just shuts down whoever is on. So I think the Cardinals. The reason I'm talking all about the Browns is because I think the Cardinals are going to get trolled here. We called them plucky, Kevin, and I think that's probably past now. Would that be fair to say?
They've lost their pluckiness 100%.
Yeah.
They'll get it back with Kyler, I think.
Yeah.
But
So
they've lost
if
it.
we're with Watson back in the lineup, I think I also think that the Browns will be able to put some points on the board. So I will say the Cardinals. All right, I'm going to say the Cardinals get. Here's my prediction: Clayton Tune starts. The Cardinals get 6 points, and the Browns get 24.
Okay. I can dig that. I'm going to say, yeah, I think Browns defense is just the strength in this game. I'm gonna go with Browns. I'll say 20. I'll say 23. Cardinals, I will say 9.
You guys are like combining the score I came up with. I'm going to go 27-9.
Oh, okay.
The Browns. I mean, I don't even know which QBs are playing, but I think the Browns defense is just that much better. That's why there's a -8 spread here, and I'm not mad about it.
Well, the last time I was just down on the Cardinals against a good defense, they played the Cowboys, and that didn't go exactly the way we
Yeah,
expected.
let's see. Hey,
Oh,
that's what
geez.
plucky teams do. If they want to be called plucky again, they got to go out there and punch the Browns in the mouth.
Earn it.
And the Browns
Earn
have
it, baby.
proven that they're not impervious to getting punched in the mouth. We've
That's
seen
true.
it. We've seen
That
it
is
all
very
season.
true.
So, but they got to do the punching this week. Buccaneers at Texans, all is right with the world. I get to talk about my favorite team now that isn't my favorite team. The Houston Texans. And I'm looking at CJ Stroud this week. Look, he's the big man on campus now. He's talked about as the new rookie QB sensation, and deservedly so. However, he's cooling off. He's been significantly cooling off, and it's kind of going under the radar a little bit. There hasn't been much made of the Texans' descension, their deceleration mid-season. So this profiles as potentially a get-right game for both teams. The Buccaneers did take the L last Thursday night, but they showed their pluckiness against my Bills by positioning themselves to be in, a Chris Godwin turning around on time away from winning against, the Bills, who are thought to be a contender. So I have a lot of respect for them. They did show a lot of fight. They hung in there, which is kind of all you can do sometimes. This is kind of an ultimate matchup of teams that are trying to prove themselves this year, right? The Buccaneers, both of these teams were thought of to be contenders for the number 1 pick. And it looks like both teams instead are going to be contenders for the number 7 seed, which I have a lot of respect for both teams, a lot of respect for their fight. Adrian loves Baker. I love the Texans. So I'm excited to hear what Adrian has to say about this game. I'm inclined to think, look, Buffalo got a lot going through the air against the Bucs. Their defense did not look as impervious to the passing attack as it was thought to be. So I personally think that the Texans will have some get right stuff on offense, but I think the Buccaneers are going to be a little too much to handle. Baker Mayfield, Rashad White, Mike Evans. I think this one's going to be close. I think it's going to be down to the wire. Give me a 27-24 last second field goal win for the Buccaneers.
Ouch. So I hear everything you said. I'm heavily invested, literally, in CJ Stroud because I have every year I put on like a ridiculous 20-leg parlay of futures.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 that are really they're kind of pushing me at the moment. The first is Aaron Jones over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And the second is CJ Stroud under 3,500. Now he came out balling out, so he needs to average about 140 a game.
Not happening.
However, he did do 140 yards against the Panthers. Dead last ranked defense. So I think the Bucs are going to be able to hold them here. And I like the Texans, not as much as you, but I do like the Texans. So I'm going to say 26 to 20 is a weird score, but I'll take it. 26-20. I think a lot of field goals here. But I think if Baker gets going, we've seen kind of what he can do when he gets in his bag. And I think he left that game just shy, when he was with the Browns, he had his moment as the hero, and he left that game against the Bills just shy of being the hero. Like you said, Chris Godwin turns around, catches that. And so I think he's going to come out fired up 26-20 Bucks.
Baker is the ultimate scrappy quarterback, man. He
is.
Some of the plays he made in that game, Leonard Floyd had him dead to rights. Von Miller had him dead to rights. He was pulling his leg out from dudes who were doing the schoolyard, tugging on the ankle. He was ducking guys that were coming and getting ready to throw haymakers. That dude's the definition of plucky.
We love it.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what's his score?
So going off of that, I'll go the opposite. I'll go Texans 24-21. Will Anderson, maybe a forced fumble here and there.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield interception, CJ Stroud, a few touchdowns. I think it's a very close game and you could go either way. I'm just leaning Texans here.
Jimmy just gave us the parlay, guys. Will Anderson forced fumble, Baker Mayfield pick, CJ Stroud multiple touchdowns. Lock it up.
2+.
Go profit.
Just do Will Anderson sack just to keep the odds at bay, okay?
Yeah,
Don't
I've
do
been losing a lot of
okay,
money on sacks lately, just for the record. Max Crosby
Are you okay?
against the Lions killed me. To Cato, I know I love this comment. It's true, Adrian.
It's so accurate.
We need to start. Yo, he's roasting you, bro. Yo, Takeo is cooking with napalm in the chat right now. Take it easy, man.
Bro,
Man has
you know
a
what
family.
it is? I'll tell you what it is. Think of my son. He's gonna watch this one day. No,
Yeah, right.
He's gonna watch through all of them,
I-
binge watch.
every
He's
single
gonna
one.
binge watch the old legit football.
It's a lot. It's a
I
lot.
love it.
I have a thing, right? And I said this from the very start. In fact, if I remember right, the first time I was on this show, I sold my heart for Baker Mayfield because I love an underdog. And the thing with our league with NFL is you've got every year you got 5 to 6 QBs who are just monsters, and the rest are underdogs. And so it's
true.
easy for me. It's easy for me to root for these guys like Baker Mayfield, who I feel, if they do well, it's going to be a story. Whereas, and to some extent, same with the Texans.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not
great
fun to be
conversation.
negative. It's not fun to be negative at all.
It's true. Jimmy, your next game on the docket is Colts at
boys.
Panthers. Panthers are
Give
2.5
me-
point favorites.
Can I hit
Fired
the
up.
sad music, man? Hit the sad
I was
music.
going to ask you, do you want uplifting or sad? Because there's still something to
Sad.
be excited
Give me
about.
sad.
You got
Yeah.
it.
Well, listen, man, it's been a while since I've been on here. Since then, our quarterback's gone for the season. Lost a lot of cornerbacks. DeForest Buckner, he was sought out by the NFL. Someone planted something in his body. 6-game suspension, absolutely insane. We've let up 38, 39, and 37 points the past few weeks because we just have nobody to stop anybody. Josh Downs, knee injury. I don't know where he's going to be.
Love Josh Downs.
But you know what? Colts going to win. Why not? Colts are going to win. Why not?
I'm giving you the uplifting music.
not
Listen,
us?
man. And we're back. I mean, Gardner Minshew Mania, Frank Reich. It's a revenge game. We can't lose to Frank Reich. Panthers only have 1 win. Colts, they're going to go back to 500. It's going to be great. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to pick the Colts to win here just because I can't lose another game. We've scored 20 points in every game, but it doesn't really. I mean, the season's kind of in the trash for me without Anthony Richardson. It's sad to say, but
I mean, I
there's
understand.
a lot of
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but you can't exactly throw it in the trash because you know he's the guy now. So
no, I
there's
know.
at least-
Yeah, that's the exciting part
So
of
the
it. Just
guy.
this season specifically,
yeah,
and
grab that
building
draft
around
pick.
him, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, go
Absolutely.
maybe bench Gardner. He's gonna win you too many. He's plucky.
Yeah, it's
This could have
just-
been a dynamite game. We respect Jimmy too much to let it be our dynamite game. But Jimmy, give us a score prediction.
Oh, geez, it's going to be high scoring, probably. It's probably going to be 30-27 Colts. I probably used that score already, but
30, what was it? 30.
30-27,
Oh, you're
22.
projecting a shootout here.
32-27.
See, this has been
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
the
yeah. I mean, the
ultimate-
Colts have let up that like almost 40 points in every game the past
How
few
many
weeks.
games do we have left, Age?
We got a dynamite game and then 3 full ones.
Oh, so just 4 games? Okay, because then we have a second to. We'll try to breeze through those.
Yeah.
But I do kind of, since this is Jimmy's
Let's open
team, I
up.
want to talk about this. The Colts' pace of play this year has been one of the fastest in the league. They're getting a lot of plays off. The
Yeah.
Panthers has been one of the slowest. So this is going to be strength versus strength. Can the Panthers slow the game down? Can the Colts speed it up? It's sort of like Warriors versus Lakers. You know, it's the ultimate, or Warriors versus Nuggets. It's the ultimate. Which tempo will win? And Jimmy, what do you foresee? Do you foresee this being a fast-paced game? Because your score would indicate that.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Colts have just been doing that all season so
They're just
far.
pushing the
so,
pace.
Yeah, they're pushing the pace. Could they change it up? Maybe, but yeah, I don't think the Colts defense. I think they let up so many big plays. I just feel like it'll end up that way whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
So
I think it'll be more of a dominant Colts performance. I'm actually not super out on the Colts the way you are. I think they
Yeah.
are lucky as well.
You know,
I'm looking at the Colts winning this game. I will say 32-19.
yeah, I think Minshew is, and we said this actually when Anthony Richardson went down. He's one of the better backups in the league, so you still got a chance to get into the playoffs with him.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a, you know what the problem is? He scores, he puts points on the board, but he also turns the ball over a lot. So like you kind of get a bit of,
Jameis Winston style, right?
Yeah, actually, absolutely. So like, but I will say this, and we said this initially, is what it is good to see is they, there's a lot of teams that would have slept on putting Anthony Richardson on IR, ending his season for surgery, and let him play hurt and potentially made it worse or made him far less durable in the future. I respect the fact that they took him off. They know he's the guy. Get him fixed, get him sorted, and then he's healthy next year. So I think it's a great move.
And I will say there's a lot to look forward to. It's just more specifically
So
this
much.
season.
Right, 100%.
It's tough. Like, are we a
Results,
playoff
you're
team?
just-
Yeah, we're in the middle. Shane Steichen, though, I think he's at this point. I think he's the guy. I think he's definitely
he's
a great
good.
offensive
He's
mind. He
good.
obviously makes some weird decisions here and there. in terms of getting Jonathan Taylor like one carry in the second half when he had like 90 something yards. I mean,
There's a lot of talk of an possible injury, possible tweaking. So
yeah, there's talk like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think from what he said he went with the hot hand, which I don't understand at all. Like Zach Moss had like one good run. Like
Zach Moss is a dog, and I hate to admit it
he's a
because
dog,
I
man.
literally had a party when he was traded from the Bills. And
Roll
now
the
I'm like,
tape. See what we said
Yeah.
when the first trade
oh,
happened.
I don't want to. Let's not do that.
Okay.
All right.
We can't.
No, that
Maybe
will
next
that
time.
will be look very bad upon me.
Probably me too. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Dead. Yes, 100%.
Dead.
Yes, Adrian.
Dead right.
Your next game. Oh, did you give us a score?
27-13. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we'll
He said.
jump in.
Did you give us a score, Kev?
Yeah, I
What did you-
believe
oh,
I
you
said
said it. You
32
said
to
it.
19. I gave a weird one.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you get?
All right. It is time for the Legit Football Podcast signature dynamite game. Kev, I'm up first with the Giants. You're up with the Raiders.
Let's
me
go.
bring up. I you know what? This is where I'm still scab producing to an extent because I didn't prepare this earlier. So let me bring up our dynamite game.
Jimmy's gonna love
All right.
this. He doesn't know
What
what
is
it
going
is.
on right now?
Just wait.
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec.
It's
All
sick.
right. Hold on a sec. Now I'm going to pause this because we need to explain what's happening. So, Jimmy, you haven't been here for a little while. What it is when there's a game this terrible, like the Giants at the Raiders, we decide that we're going to strap dynamite to the game. We've got a minute to talk about it, and then we're going to blow it to smithereens, and then it's done from our life. So you're welcome to talk about the
I
pieces
love it.
after, but we have a minute to cover this. So are we ready to roll? Let's get the tape on there.
Let's go.
Attach it. Yeah, attach it to this game. 60 seconds, as always, goes onto the timer. All right, and let us roll. So Daniel Jones should be back in this. That helps a lot because Tommy DeVito, their third stringer, was held to -9 air yards. That is not a typo. -9 air yards in a game. They just wouldn't let him throw the ball, and when they did, he was losing it. Saquon is looking like himself, 128 yards against a really strong Jets defense. So I think that the game runs through Saquon here, and that's the only way you can do this, even with the terrible secondary on the Raiders. But I'm not going to talk about them because that's Kevin's job. So I think with Jones back, the Giants take this away, but I think it's going to give the score later because it's 30 seconds. Go.
There's really not much to talk about here. AOC, as Pro Football Demon has dubbed him, is now the starter in Vegas, and he is a gunslinger, so he should be pushing the ball down the field. Look for some Devontae Adams love this week. He might get back on track. Josh Jacobs will get something going in the ground because, as you mentioned, the Giants are just horrendous, but a rookie quarterback against a team that's pretty well coached, even though the Giants are a dumpster fire, I still think Brian Dable is good. I think the Giants are going to pull this one out. I will say 20-19.
On the money.
Now, Jimmy, if you want to pick up a piece from that trash
You're welcome
sheet,
to.
You're more than welcome to. Or we
This
can
game
just-
stinks.
stinks.
No, I have both two bottom offenses. I think they both average like maybe around like 250 yards a game. That's brutal. But yeah, if Daniel Jones is back, Giants.
Yeah,
Did you say 2019 Giants way?
I did.
Yeah, 2019. Okay, you know that. And sorry, Jimmy, what's your score?
24 to 13.
Yeah, I think you're
Giants.
both on the money. This is going to be a disgusting, like 37 and a half under.
Poopy.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay,
my
let's
overhead-
just-
Oh wow, I picked a 37. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
under.
the over.
I'm going to be less nice than you guys. I'm going to say 13 to 16 Giants way because I don't like the Giants either.
Yeah,
I might
it's a
just bet the
terrible,
under for
terrible game.
fun. That could
Yeah.
be
I
fun
might bet the
this
over for
game.
fun.
Okay, let's see what happens.
All right, Cowboys at Eagles. This is me, right?
Actually,
This
no,
is
this
me.
is Jimmy.
Oh,
If
I
that's
got
okay
both.
with
Okay,
you,
that
Kev.
counted as one of mine. No,
I mean,
Jimmy,
you can
you're
talk
next
about
up.
it too,
Jimmy?
man.
you're fired. I'll take it. No, I'm just kidding. Go crazy.
No, this is a divisional game. So it's always going to be tough between the Cowboys and Eagles. I'm leaning the Eagles here just because AJ Brown has 831 yards in 6 games. I think overall they're the better team. They have a great rush defense, only allowing 60 yards per game. That might be due to the fact that their secondary is kind of the way teams attack. And I could see Dak Prescott maybe attacking them that way. But as a whole, I'm going Eagles. I'm going 30 to 27. I think it'll be close.
I like that. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. Dak Prescott has looked better, and you know how you know Dak Prescott has looked better is that there's no one talking about him because if he makes any mistake, it's everywhere. I think AJ Brown is just. I said it last week. I think he's a cheat code in fantasy, and I think he's a cheat code in games. He subscribes to the flat Earth theory, so I lost a little bit of respect for him there. But you know,
Does he? Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah,
I hope he was
just read the
trolling. I
very
saw the
recent-
video. I really hope he was trolling.
Look, I hope so too. But look, for whatever, everyone teach their own. He can think what he wants, as long as he keeps playing this amazing brand of football. I think the Eagles keep rolling here as well, even though the Cowboys D has looked fantastic. Both besides that slip against the Cardinals, they've to some extent looked themselves. I will say I think it's going to be a high flying affair, but I'm going to say even higher. I'm going to say 30. Said 33 already. Let's say 35. I don't know what you need to do to get to 35 and
5
24.
touchdowns.
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay, that's fine. 34.
Very, very
34.
simple.
Let's make.
You said
yeah,
26
34.
earlier, and I was trying to do the math in my head. I wanna be
34,
nice.
24.
And you're picking the Eagles. You're both picking the
Yep.
Eagles.
Oh, he's gonna go
Upset
opposite.
special.
Yep. there it
Upset
is.
special. Come on, baby. Dallas Cowboys have played a very bizarre
You
brand
are
of football
ruining
this
people's
season.
day, and I'm living for it.
I have to. That's what I do, baby. Dak Prescott is going to have a get right game. The Eagles secondary is atrocious. Sorry, their secondary is not. Their pass defense, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but Jimmy mentioned it earlier. They kind of tend to hemorrhage yards against opposing quarterbacks. So I like the Cowboys to actually have a good game. CD Lamb is going to go bonkers. I think AJ Brown will too on the other side. It's a division game and it's an NFC East game, so I think it's going to be close. I think Dallas is going to pull it out on a last second field goal. I will say 29-27.
That's one thing I feel like whenever we put these scores in, I struggle to make them 1-score games or a field goal winner, and it happens so often. I feel like I should probably account for that more, particularly division game.
Yeah, they get close. They
There's
get
a
games
lot
get close,
of-
man. There's a
It's a
small
lot of
margin
one
error.
possession games.
Yeah.
All right, Age.
Actually,
us
no.
off.
Now we're going to spin this around only
Flipping
so
it.
we can keep if we can keep Monday Night Football as the end. So it's your boys.
Let's
This
go.
is a
I'm
big
so
one.
excited,
This
honestly.
is a big one.
So excited. It's a big game.
Alright, have I got music
Buffalo
for
for
this?
the first time in 27 games. There we go.
I'm gonna put it there.
Okay.
This is epic
Thank you.
music.
I love this. In honor of NFL stats, I will be giving you a stat. First time in 27 games, the Bills are underdogs from Vegas. Can you believe that?
What? Wait, what'd you just say?
This is the first time in 27 games the Bills are Vegas underdogs. They've been favored in every game they've
Whoa.
played in for
Whoa.
yeah. And it's cool. It's where they like to be. Keep Buffalo a secret. We like to be slept on. So it's tough. I really love the Rasul Douglas trade. There's been a lot of chatter about maybe replacing Matt Milano. You can't replace Matt Milano. He's one of the best players in the NFL. Terrell Bernard has stepped into his shoes admirably. And then for linebacker too, one of my favorite things the Bills have been doing is they go with their run stopping, but very bad against the pass linebacker Terrell Dodson in obvious running downs. And then they pull him off the field, throw Jordan Poyer in his role as the nickel linebacker, and they bring in their third safety, Taylor Rapp. The drop-off from Poyer to Rapp at safety is significant versus the drop-off from Milano to Dodson at linebacker. So you're sort of masking the problem. You're sort of you're using your best 11 chess pieces as opposed to keeping the knight where the knight is supposed to go and the rook where the rook is supposed to go. It's such a brilliant football X's and O's move, and I've been doing it on Madden for a long time, so I kind of feel vindicated. Safeties are good linebackers in today's world because part of being a linebacker is covering running backs and tight ends. If you're a strong safety, not just by position, but also you're strong, you can be a good diamond nickel linebacker. It's just the way that the cookie crumbles. So I'm very excited. I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to highlight that. Since this is a football podcast,
That's what you come here for. It's the Madden. It's that in
bringing
depth.
bringing some X's and O's for your head top. The Rasul Douglas acquisition is incredible. I love him and Christian Bedford as the 1-2. You get Dane Jackson back on the bench, and Kyer Elam can figure out what the hell he's going to do. First round pick, traded up to get him, and he was thought to be available at the trade deadline for a ham sandwich. Didn't happen. We did not get our ham
Was he
sandwich.
injured or just healthy scratch?
He's been healthy scratched quite often.
Yeah.
He has not performed well whatsoever. That being said, this game is going to come down to can that defense, that patchwork put together with scotch tape and gum defense, keep it together against the ascendant Joe Burrow. The Bills did not catch the Bengals in their slump. They caught them at their peak. This is not the best timing. I personally don't think the Bills will be able to slow the Bengals down, so they're going to have to keep up with them. The Bills' offense has looked like it's turned the corner of late. They had a great game against Tampa. They didn't quite put the nail in the coffin, which was a bit unfortunate, but Josh Allen looked every bit the part of the franchise quarterback. James Cook has looked outstanding all year. He's towards the top of the NFL in rushing yards consistently. Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis finally had a game where they both showed up together. That hasn't happened much. And Dalton Kincaid is Swole Beasley. He is tall Cole Beasley. And I am so ready to have a chain
Amazing.
mover that we've been missing. And I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to see what happens. The journalistic integrity part of my brain is kicking in, Adrian. And even though you peer pressured me last time into picking the Bills over the Dolphins when I didn't think they would win, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you do it again. Can you give me one little nudge and I'll go?
Yeah, go your boys. You know what? I can't
picking
pick
the
the Packers
Bills.
because let's be honest.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all you needed.
I don't
Just a
want
little-
to. I don't. To be clear, I'm doing this under duress. Adrian has kind of put me in a very uncomfortable position, but I will take the Bills. I'll say 35-32. And I think it's going to be a
35.
shootout. And I think that's the only way the Bills can win is if they keep pace. And I think they'll do it. I think they'll get a weird turnover. I think they'll rattle Burrow a little bit. Their pass rush is outstanding, and the Bengals' offensive line is not their strength. So sorry to ramble, but I will go with the Bills.
No, that's not at all. I think, man, the Bengals are humming again. It really does suck. It seems like the healthy Burrow was all they needed. He showed up against the 49ers, something like out of this world. This is a hard one to pick, to be honest with you. I don't know. I do have some form of news for you.
Bad news for you, mate.
I can't pick your Bills here, and I would normally, you know what? Because the love flows through me.
I know.
And I feel like I
forgive you.
want the Bills to win, and I wish cast, but
Yeah.
I think the Bills are probably going to get one of those Josh Allen games where maybe he makes a mistake or two, and you're going to get one of those
Happens.
Joe Burrow games because it just happens when he just steps up in the limelight. I think it's going to be, I'm going to say 30-24. I probably said that score as well already, but I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be super entertaining. I just can't see the Bengals at the moment going down.
I can live with that.
Yeah,
We're still friends.
I've gone back and forth in my head like 8 times at this point. But I'll go with my first instinct. I'll pick the Bengals here, like 37-34. I think it'll be a crazy game, shootout game. And I think it'll come down with Josh Allen. Josh Allen with the ball, but I think unfortunately, they just don't get it going. I think the Bengals are riding high right now, and I think they'll beat the Bills, but I think the Bills will use that to their advantage throughout the rest of the season. So I'm excited to see what happens. Feels bad for the Bills though with all their injuries and stuff, but I'm glad that they're still pushing through for you.
Yeah, man.
Hey, our shoulders are all available, baby.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Takedo, and I hope yours would be too, man. Don't act like you're too cool to let your bro cry on your shoulder. No, it's gonna be really fun, and I appreciate your guys' honest analysis. I don't think it's unreasonable, and yeah, it does hurt to know that a year of Josh and Steph's prime is not wasted, but it's not every year that you have 3 All-Pros go on IR within 10 days of each other. So that's just kind of where we're at.
Last time I was on here, I think Trey White went out for the year, and then like
that was
the
before
next day,
Milano, before Daquan.
Milano went out, and I was like, I'm about to fly to Los Angeles. Give you a hug, man. It's
been difficult, but ultimately, that's what being a Bills fan is about. That's what being a fan in general is about. That's what being a Bill is about. We push through. We don't give up. We never stop fighting. Adrian, bring us home. Yeah,
I do think, and I don't know if you feel the same way. I feel like Milano is the biggest loss. Though we talked about this last week. He's such a big piece of that defense. Yeah,
and him and Bernard together were looking like better than him and Edmonds ever looked together. Bernard looks already better than Edmonds, which is very weird because Edmonds seemed to be irreplaceable. He got one of the biggest contracts for an off-ball linebacker in NFL history, and Chicago probably regrets it a little bit. They're not really doing anything special over there. Let's be real. I like Edmonds still. I'm not hating, but
let's bring it home.
Good.
All right. So the Chargers, I've got a cheeky smile for a reason here. So the Chargers are 23rd in pass rush, 29th in pass coverage. They don't have the defense that the Jets have, but they've also got a better offense, and their offense has been clicking a little bit better. But they beat Tyson Badgett. Let's take it easy on that. They only put up 17 points against the Chargers, 17 against the Cowboys. They don't do fantastic against great defenses, and I don't think Zach Wilson is going to be pressured too much here. How's this for a little stat? Sorry to take your Jimmy Ray stats. NFL stats here, but Salah has mentioned that the Jets have a knack for humbling these superstar QBs, right? So Mahomes, Allen, and Jalen Hurts combined for 1-2 record, 239-yard average, 3-8 TD to interception, and 61.7 passer rating. The Jets defense is special. So the reason I got a cheeky smile is because of all the teams that I love, and we have someone that's involved with this podcast who is a huge Jets fan. I'm of course talking about Adrian myself. That's right, Armand. I'm taking your spot. The Jets are taking this one for the upset, and the Jets are my new team for this year.
That was
Not
so
really,
messed
but
up.
Yeah.
I can't believe you just did that.
Sorry, Armand. I didn't mean it, man.
Armand
I didn't.
Schefter is in the chat breaking all the news. If you're not on the visual version of this, then you should be. What the H are you doing? But Armand is just absolutely lighting the chat on fire with breaking Jets news.
And here I am just stomping.
And I absolutely love you claiming another team. Takedo's got more ammo for you being the guy who just collects teams.
30 teams, 50 quarterbacks.
Talk about journalistic integrity.
I love
love
football.
everyone.
What can you say?
Did you give us a score?
No, I didn't, but I'll say the Jets get the upset here. And I actually think Zach Wilson has a good game. So I'm going to say Zach Wilson puts up 27 points and the Chargers get
That's the
held
hottest
to
take I've ever
21.
heard. 27-21 Jets. Jimmy, Himmy Ray.
Yeah, I think the Jets defense is something to not shy away from. I think it'll be 23-20 Jets. I think Breece Hall is coming out of his shell as well. Yeah, I'm picking the Jets too. Yeah,
I wanted to
Jets
pick the
too.
Jets, and now I feel like
Yeah.
I can't.
No, you can't now. No, do it.
I was trying
Why
to be contrarian. Oh, screw it. Let's go. We're steering in.
Yeah,
We're steering
put
into
the
the skid.
Jets logos on here. We're all Jets
Let's
fans.
go.
Right?
This is the official Jets podcast. No,
I will
yeah.
bet all the Chargers are my fantasy teams, so they need to do well still.
Jimmy, sorry, I might have screamed over your score prediction. Give us that one more time.
23-20 Jets, but the Chargers fantasy players still do well for me.
I'm gonna go Jets 20-17 and take that under.
All right.
I like
It's gonna
it.
be Armand, get used to it. It's gonna be a trendy pick this week, man. The Chargers are frauds. They're the fraudgers. And I've said this my whole life, and Justin Herbert is not a top 5 quarterback this year. I don't care what you say.
The Jets
No,
can't lose. It's not possible now.
They won't lose.
I'll
They're
promise
They
winning.
you
won't
this.
lose.
I'll promise you
He's gonna
this.
get so mad at us. He's gonna come back and be like, it's your fault.
My
He's never gonna
buddies
come back
actually my buddies actually get upset at me when I bet on their teams because I've just got a knack for betting and then they lose. So I promise you this. For the shots I just took, calling myself the number 1 Jets fan here, I won't bet on the Jets.
I will.
Yeah, I'll bet on the under.
I'll bet on the Jets straight up.
Guys, we got the freaking band back together. We had the man from down under himself. We had NFL stats, Jimmy Ray. We had Kevin Phillip Fox. Guys, this was kind of
Good
like
person.
the best Friday I've had in
Love
a
it.
long time. I really enjoyed this. It's not like I don't love our one-on-one time, Adrian, but
I get it.
we had a full team today. I miss Brian McFadden. If we could just get Brian McFadden back and Anthony back, we'd be playing at full strength. It's almost like losing Milano and Trey White, but we're
Oh,
here.
No.
When we're rocking and rolling. Adrian, anything you want to say to the people before we wrap things up?
Nothing, man. You know what? I say this every week, but nothing specific except I feel you. This has been awesome.
So
Kimmy,
fun.
it's so good to have you back, man.
I got you.
And this has been great. And I feel
Yeah.
like this is going to be a really good week. How are we already halfway mark of the season?
Yeah, I was
Don't-
gonna say
don't
that. I
remind me.
mean, it's happy to be back, but we're halfway through the season. Just take every week. Don't take it for granted.
Yep.
Enjoy some football. Be positive, like Adrian was with everybody. So
Yep.
like, hey, there's always next week. They're underdogs. Don't feel bad for them. I feel bad for them.
We're like, yo, Age, who you got? Bills, Bengals. He's like, both. They're
Yeah.
both gonna win.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
gonna
that's
God.
try
actually-
and
that's not
win.
actually
DeMar Hamlin
possible.
wins.
They're both winning. Guys, this has been the legit football
I have one more
NFL
thing.
podcast. One more
before you
thing.
sign off.
Adrian.
Literally last thing I made this and I didn't bring it up. Just a real quick check in on last week. Kevin roasted me on his picks. I didn't bring up the previous week because it went the other way, but that's okay. I brought it up here because I'm petty.
What-
Dude,
I
I
was
thought
about
that
to
was
say,
like
what?
ages 7 to
Thanks for
8. I was
having
like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
what
I'm
kids are on the show?
I'm age 9 to 6. Somehow my
Okay,
my
okay.
maximum age goes down.
Yeah.
And age is 7 to 9. Yeah, you can tell. Look at the baby face.
Yeah.
No, this has been
Stop
so
it.
fun, and thank you for giving me a little credit there. We gotta keep better track of it. Let's definitely keep track of this one. Jimmy, I've actually sniped a couple scores exactly this season.
Whoa.
And I think I'll be sniping some more.
Yeah, I think I hit all mine today, so I'm excited.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all are the goats. Thank you for listening. We have Armand, Takedo, PK Martini, all of those legends in the chat. Age, do you want to play the close off music?
I got you, baby. So
All right. This has been the Legit Football NFL podcast, and we are out.